We bought this double wide about 2 years ago, and it came with a dungeon. And the dungeon's finally lit up. So we're gonna get some farmhouse beams up on this side of the double wide. If y'all remember the last time we put up farmhouse beams in our double wide, it went a little something like that. We're gonna continue that theme, and we're gonna do it on this side of the double wide as well. That way, the ceiling coincides. It's just gonna have to be tweaked just a little bit, and I'll explain that to y'all here in a minute. But while this ceiling and that ceiling is gonna coincide, that's still gonna be our accent ceiling. So in our kitchen, we did a complete shiplap, painted shiplap ceiling, and I'm obsessed with it. It's its own thing, and it kind of separates the kitchen from this living area because our double wide is super open concept, which I love. We're not gonna be stuck in this room for a really long time, but we're also not gonna be just working on this room. So in this season, with us heading into summer, we're gonna be doing some stuff outside as well. So we're gonna kind of be migrating around the double wide, just getting things done as we can afford them. I have specific envelopes for specific projects, and they're all becoming full, but they're all becoming full at different times. They never come full at the same time. It just never works that way. But as my envelopes come full, that's whenever we start a project. So you'll see us migrating around the double wide, especially a lot this summer, but most of this living room is getting done. You know what, I'm not gonna say it's getting done in the next month or two, because I said that about the kitchen.
1 year later.
And it took a whole year. So I ain't jinxing this time. I learned my lesson. But hopefully it gets done in a pretty good amount of time. We'll see about it. I don't know.
I'm confident on this one. We don't have all the crazy cabinets, plumbing, electrical. We just got the electrical part done. So I mean,
that's true. So he's got a point, because when we did the kitchen, we gutted the kitchen. We gutted the kitchen. Everything is rearranged. The only thing in the same spot is literally the stove and the sink. That's it. Everything else was moved around. So we gutted it, and I had to design that in my head, and I'm not good at design stuff. I found that out with that project.
Great at design.
Really not good at designing stuff. But I have to learn as I go. Everybody does. And so I love the way that it ended up. It just took a lot of tweaking, and it took a lot of us doing something, going back, fixing it, going back, fixing it. And you'll notice that's a pattern on my channel, is I'm not here to convince you that I know what I'm doing, because nobody knows I don't know what I'm doing like I know what I don't know what I'm doing. We really learn as we go. And I want that to be obvious to you guys, because it's real life. I'm not here to be HGTV. If you're looking for something like HGTV, there's HGTV. But there's also a lot of other creators that know what they're doing, and they want you to know that they know what they're doing. But as for me, I don't know what I'm doing. He's learning. He knows more than I know, but he's learning what he's doing. And this is real life, what it looks like to buy a fixer-upper and fix it up.
if anything, we're just showing y'all that you can do. You can literally like learn and do this stuff the same way, because we learn how to do everything and we make it work.
I know that the home transformation is fun for y'all. Y'all like to see the double wide transforming, but in my real life outside of the camera, my favorite part about this is doing it with him. And it's us together creating our home that we have worked so hard for and prayed so hard for, and that's the fun part about it. So I don't get mad if I have to go back and fix something 100 times. It just means I'm getting closer to that end goal that I want it to be, and that's what's important to me. Spending time with him, not making our time together miserable while fixing this thing up, because it's a blessing that we've both been blessed with and that we're working on together. So you'll see us in and out of this room a lot in the next couple of months. You'll see us in other places too working, but a lot of this I want to get done shortly. I think we'll get this done in a timely manner, because it's nothing like the kitchen was. The kitchen took way longer than the first living room. If you remember, we got that done pretty fast. The kitchen we were on for a long time. If you're new here, that's kind of how we work. I can show you in real time, in pieces, what we do. I try not to break videos up too much, because I don't like that myself, but if I have to, I will, and that's just real life. A room like this, we cannot physically get done in a video, financially get done in a video, insanely get done in a video. There's just no way. We're not those kinds of creators, but we are creators that stay true to ourselves, and we are creators that keep it down here and keep it in real life and at a personal level. And I like that. I like doing that, because at the end of the day, this is not a TV show. This isn't a job I see for me that I need to like grind at. It's a calling first and foremost, but it's a community and y'all are not my audience, you're my friends. So there's plenty of channels where you go and you see all that stuff done, and they do it in a timely manner, they do it fast and all that stuff. That's what they're here for, and they do their job good. But me, I just want to show you real life. I just want to show you what it looks like living in my double wide trailer on my little piece of land here in the hills of East Tennessee with my family, and what it looks like for me. I do get really excited though whenever it's time to do stuff like this. I'm super excited because this video marks the beginning of a different area in the double wide. We're not stuck in the kitchen anymore, and I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's do the daggone thing. So the dimensions of these beams are a lot different than the dimensions of the beams in the first living room. Those are a lot bigger. What I'm going off of is that middle beam in between the first living room and the kitchen. So this is going to be our anchor piece, and this is how wide the pieces, the beams themselves are going to be, but they're going to come off the ceiling a totally different dimension. So these are like 5 or 6 inch wides, and they're going to come off the ceiling with 4-inch wides. And I did that for a reason, because of the placement of where they had to go in here. I've got this door in an awkward position here, and those windows are totally off center in the room, which makes it hard to add stuff like this in here. But I've got to make sure that they don't come down too far, and 6-inch would be too far because it would overlap the window. And if I couldn't put it where I needed to on that one side of the window, then I would have to end up moving it, and then that would make the lights off center, and it was like just a whole thing. So we ended up moving it a little bit to the right of the window, and then right at the right of the door. And that's kind of how we centered it in this room. It was really difficult to get the measurements and to make sure everything was going to look okay. You know those comments are going to say, right? What? Anytime Shane dances, there's always that comment of Shane's hips don't lie.
Shankira, Shankira. Oh, when you talk like that, you like a Shango man.
I don't know if I'm the one you want. Should I go, or should I leave this on? Because lately I've been getting this feeling that you might like me too. And just maybe I could take a little risk for you. Make me move. Oh, I see you standing there. I just wanna get out of here with you. Oh, baby, I'm with you. Oh, baby, with you. You're coming closer, I can feel it, and I don't know what to do. Oh, baby, what to do? Oh, what should I do? Don't you see that I'm waiting for you? All I want is you. You're coming closer, I can feel it, and I don't know what to do. Oh, baby, what to do? What should I do?
So these are 10-foot pieces, and we have this gap here between this piece and the beam here, and down here you can see the gap between this piece and the beam. We're gonna have to butt a piece up against that, because I think these are like, is this 14 feet, Shane? Or
A little over 12, I believe.
12 or 14 feet, and we couldn't fit that in the van. So our van carries some big pieces, but not 12 or 14 feet pieces. Usually we can get 10 in there easily. So these are 10-foot pieces, and then we have this area we need to butt another piece up against before we can start boxing out the beam.
Oh, baby, I'm with you. Oh, baby, with you. You're coming closer, I can feel it, and I don't know what to do. Oh, baby, what to do? Oh, what should I do? Don't you see that I'm waiting for you? All I think about is you. You're coming closer, I can feel it, and I don't know what to do. Oh, baby, what to do?
We just ate dinner. We got Pizza Hut, which is something I try not to do too often, but we're knee deep in this thing right
Sometimes
now.
you gotta get pizza.
We're knee deep in this thing right now, and Shane runs off of like,
Pizza.
so we just got done eating the Pizza Hut, and now we've got to get our angle cuts to get this wood on the ceiling. I'm in my hoodie, Shane's in his hoodie, because I had it 66 degrees in the house.
The rain is also making it cool.
I'm cold, like I'm cold, so we both are wearing our hoodies in the middle, at the beginning of summer.
But anytime, hold on. But anytime I get cold, I just gotta rub on my baby.
That's not true. Tell him who
I
warms
gotta
you up at
rub
night.
on my
Tell him who warms
my
you up
moon
at night.
pie.
Come here,
The
baby.
moon pie.
Come here. This is who warms him up at
Yeah,
night.
technically he is the one that warms me up at night.
And he has a Memorial Day collar that I got him that he's already got messy. I gotta wash it. But he looks so pretty and it is so pretty.
He won't let me usually play with him throughout the day, but at night he curls up like a cinnamon
mama
roll
boy.
right next to me and he keeps me warm.
He's a mama boy.
He's a good boy.
Oh, he's the bestest ever. Oh my goodness. We're gonna get our angle cuts so we can get the wood up on the ceiling, but we're not gonna do these like we did those in there, and I'll tell you why. So these are 10-foot pieces, they're heavier. We're not gonna make the box and then put them up on the ceiling like we did in there. We're going to build around our anchor here and go side by side. Also, these are different sizes than the ones we have in there. The ones we have in there are wider, but given the position that these had to be in, we got smaller pieces of wood. So they're not as wide, they're about half the size, but it's okay. They're about the size of this middle beam here with this half wall. I think that it'll flow perfectly because if you'll notice, this one right here is what I'm talking about, going into the living room with the middle wall. This one is the size of the beams that we're gonna have in here. Those two are way bigger, but do you see how it still flows? If we did the big ones over here, it would mess with the door area and the window area. So we had to be very careful when we place these beams in here because it's just like laid out weirdly.
The way I see it is like this. It's like thematically they match, but it is separate room, separate room.
Yeah, but also, let me use Shane's thing as a tripod. Hold on. I know, because my camera's living on a prayer. Okay, do you see this color right here? The gray of the sheetrock? That's raw sheetrock. It's not been painted or anything. Tell me why I'm obsessed with that.
Why are you obsessed with that?
Against the floor. So cool tones make warm tones look less warm, right? Well, our floors, you know, I've had a problem. I love our floors. I don't dislike them. I just wish they were a little bit cooler when it comes to their tone. They pull an orangey, and it's almost like my Invisalign.
Sean Connery.
Shane's got his hands like this behind y'all just in case the camera falls.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the 90s golden oak wood. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And like the houses. It's almost like that in some places, depending on the lot.
That's why. That is why right there.
Y'all see why my dogs are usually up when I film? Oh no, okay, hold on. Hold on.
That is exactly why. I knew it.
That was bad. That could have been very bad. Okay, so you know, my floors, okay, they're warm in a lot of areas. But if you have cool tones, it usually combats the warm and it makes it come across as cooler. Look at the floor against that gray right there. I'm having a crisis. Look at the floor against that gray, and then I love my white here, Pure White by Sherwin-Williams. Look at the floor against it. Do you see? The only thing keeping me from painting this entire room that color is I'm worried that it would come across as sky blue or baby blue because it is a cooler tone gray. But oh, do I love it. It's just raw sheetrock, but I absolutely love it. I feel a crisis coming on. So this is what I want to know from you guys. I want to know which thing. Gray, this specific gray, or white in here. I have my accent color already, okay? I had the green gray already. But it's a cool green gray. And I've already kind of looked between the two to see if that would like contrast too much with the green gray, and I don't think that it would. It kind of just looks like a lighter version of that, with a little bit more blue in there, but like a little bit more bluer tone. But you can see here, there's my green gray on the ceiling. Where's the finger going? Right there, okay? And then here's the color I'm loving. Now, can you picture that color around my entire living room? I can. Oh my gosh. I want to know what you guys think. What do you say?
I say gray
Why do you say gray?
because it won't look a little bit plain with the white. It will look a little bit darker with gray.
So, do you think the white looks too plain?
A little bit, yeah.
So you don't like it?
Except for the stain.
You never told me this.
No. What we?
I'm in front.
But no. Just the white and nothing in here.
I always do this, cabinet colors, paint colors, all that stuff. I always get a family vote. So, and then I look at your guys' comments and we kind of just look over and I think about stuff as I'm reading them and as I'm just thinking, and as I'm thinking about what the family.
Thank you, Rain, to you.
I have my tripod galloping this way. I'm thinking about like what the kids have said and stuff like that. So let's get a family vote. Colin!
Colton, Cameron, Jolie, Jason, Jeff.
What color would you like to see this room? This gray or this white? Okay, what's your reasoning?
It'll look better because
It'll look better.
There you go.
Well, I mean,
Short
like,
and
to be
sweet and
fair,
to the point.
to be fair, there's two reasons.
Okay.
One, this place definitely needs a repaint.
Yeah, I know the dookie splatters, I see them.
Second off, the gray matches in here. Maybe paint that area gray too.
Maybe reiterate to the new viewers that that's not actually Dookie on the wall.
It's not, if you're new here.
It's stained.
Alright, so Colin, your vote is
Gray.
Cammy. I know what you're gonna say because Colton said it. And Cammy follows Colton's lead. Cammy, which color do you want this room? White
What?
or gray?
Gray.
Which one?
Gray.
Gray? You want it gray? This color or this color?
I said gray.
Gray? Okay. Jolie, gray or white?
Gray, because I feel like if you put on white, it's a little too light since, you know, the light is really...
Okay.
Do you not want gray?
It's not that I want gray or don't want gray. I'm shocked that y'all don't like the white. I thought you did.
No, it's good.
They do, but you're giving them another choice, and they like the choice over the previous choice. You
Okay.
forgot somebody.
Alright, Shane?
No.
No, I'm asking Shane.
Ask Moon Pie.
I'm not asking Moon
Ask
Pie.
her.
Moon Pie, which one? Gray or white? Okay, Moon Pie picks gray. Alright, Duncan, gray or white? Which one?
Which one gives me a stick?
Gray or white?
Duncan. White or gray?
Shane,
He chose gray.
what do you like? Gray.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm digging the gray. But that does not mean that I did not like the white. I love the white. But I'm like you, looking at the gray, I'm kind of like, hey, I like that.
That looks pretty, right? What do y'all think? I know it's probably weird, I guess, in the world of YouTube to like consult your family when it comes to like making over your home, but I just feel like it's necessary because this is not just my home, it's their home, and while I'm trying to make it beautiful, I'm trying to make it beautiful for them.
See that gap right there? So what I just did was I just figured out where it was gonna be straight to hit the wall. That's what we're gonna cut right there. And then once I cut it, I'll be able to slide it into the wall and it'll be nice and flush against the wall.
And that way we won't have a gap.
And then, before I hang it up, before we stain it and before we hang it up, I'm actually gonna lay it on top of the other one that goes on the other side, and I'll match it up and draw the line. That way they can be friends. So this is not going to come, just to let you know, Reedy, this isn't gonna go all the way to where the two ends here butt up, because we do have to cut some off. It's not gonna be a full 10-foot piece like that, but that's okay because that's where my littler piece will come in and fit there.
This go around, we're not boxing it out and then putting it up there. We're boxing it out around the anchor itself. Putting my gloves on, Shane's gloves on, because I have the press-on fingernails. See? And that's all I need.
Seems like you've been busy since you went away. I'm just flipping through your pictures, I can tell you look more than okay. Think I need help to feel as happy as you. Could you tell me what I'm supposed to do without you? It's like I'm just seeing empty faces staring from across the room, when all I want is to get out of here and back to you. On my way home, I'll stop at your window. I should've known how much it hurts when you used to love somebody, faces staring from across the room, when all I want is to get out of here and back to you. On my way home, I stop at your window. I should've known how much it hurts, I should've known. It's like I'm just seeing empty faces staring from across the room, when all I want is to get out of here and back to you. On my way home, I stop at your window. I should've known how much it hurts when you still love somebody. 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 Somebody.
I'm going in with my hickory gel stain. This stain is a staple on my channel, in my home, in my life, under my nails. It's everywhere, and I love it because it's like this rich, beautiful brown color. And I used to be such a stan of Jacobean, and I still love Jacobean. If I had the same color combos in this double wide that I had in our single wide in the trailer park, you know I'd be using the Jacobean. But don't have the same color scheme at all. It's totally different. So I had to find a color I liked as much as the Jacobean, but for this specific color combo in this trailer. And I ended up finding hickory after some trial and error and after some sweat and tears, because I was trying to make my own stain combos. I was trying to find stain combos I could mix and match, and a lot of times it looked okay, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I played it safe there for a while. If you've been here long enough, you know I played it safe there for a while, and I did this stain combo that kind of resembled raw wood, very light. Looks like the unstained wood pieces here on the island that you see Shane placing on the island. It looked very similar to that. It was an awful lot of work for it to look like raw wood, I'll tell you that much. It was an awful lot of work, but I went with that because I didn't know what color I should go with. I was kind of lost. When we first moved into this double wide, it was very overwhelming. It was such an overwhelming like blessing because I didn't want to mess it up, and I didn't want to throw money into things that I didn't absolutely love, or that my family didn't absolutely love. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to get it right the first time, and that's just not how I roll. That's just not how I work. So I've had to migrate. That's the word of the week. Have y'all noticed that? I've used migrate a lot in the last few videos, but I've had to migrate around. I don't even know where I was going with that. I had to just jump into it and then get a feel of how I was feeling about certain colors and certain color combos, because somebody made a comment about a video I did, a decorating video just a couple of videos ago, where I was adding some pinks and greens into the trailer, and they were a little bit disappointed. They said, I usually love your decorating videos, but I didn't like this one. Basically, they were voicing their opinions on how they were disappointed with my color scheme that I picked out, and how I didn't do a whole lot of color, even though I was wanting color in the trailer. And I mentioned that because that's kind of what I felt like when I first started. Is I had a lot of pressure, and I was like, okay, I want to add color in here. I don't want it to be like black and white or gray and white, and I don't want it all gray house or anything like that, but I'm not good at color. I'm just your average person. I don't have an eye for decor. I play around a lot, and I YOLO it mostly, and sometimes it turns out good, sometimes it don't, but I don't just have an eye for decor. I'm not talented in that area like a lot of other people. So color is very challenging for me. When I decided I wanted color in here, and the color was totally off the scale of what I had in the trailer in the trailer park, it was all new, and I didn't know what I wanted. I was everywhere. My color board, my color scheme for my vision board for this trailer was everywhere, and I had to really just jump into it and then go from there, and not put everything on paper first, but start out slowly and work from there.
I was just a kid when I met you, honey. Working on my daydreams. Down bed wishing you'd come and save me. If only I'd have a time machine back then, I'd see us dancing in the kitchen night. No one thought we could ever make it. the weekend. Painting pictures, you and me. Late that drives, music loud, ours for speaking. Close my eyes and I was dreaming. Hold tight, 'cause I know that we're changing, but I will be forever young in your arms. Tell the story about you and me, about what love you gon' love you like summer 15. Hold tight, 'cause I know that we're changing, but I will be forever young in your arms. Tell the story about you and me, about what love you gon' love you like summer 15. Can't see myself without you now, it's overdue. We try to go our separate ways, but I come back, it's true. Maybe we're both missing out on life, playing by the rules. What if I'm changing for the better because of you? Hold tight, 'cause I know that we're changing. Hold tight, 'cause I know that we're changing, but I will be forever young in your arms. Tell the story about you and me, about what love you gon' love you like summer 15. Hold tight, 'cause I know that we're changing, but I will be forever young in your arms. Tell the story about you and me, about what love you gon' love you like summer 15. Gon' love you like summer 15. Like summer 15.
So the beam placements are a little bit different. They're not exactly centered, but we centered them as best as we could given the placement of the windows versus the placement of the door. At first, I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to like the smaller beams as much as I would have if I had used the bigger beams like in the first living room. But I feel like for this specific area, the smaller beams were just a better idea, especially when it comes to having to figure out the measurements and getting it as centered as we possibly could. If I'd went any bigger, it would have looked really weird against the door there on the right. And then we were going to actually put the beam on top of the window area there, but we were able to find a stud in the ceiling a little bit to the right, so we were able to take it away from the window, which is what I was initially worried about and why I initially didn't go with the bigger beams. I thought it was going to have to be over the window. It actually was able to move a little bit to the right of the window, so it wouldn't be anywhere near the window, and I can still put up curtain rods if I want to, which I think I want to. Shane's boxed out the sides of the anchors there. You can see he's already placed the ones I've stained on the side there, the ones he cut the angle cut to meet the wall at. And now I'm staining the front pieces and the little pieces. So he's continuing on with the side pieces here, and we're going to do these sides before we tackle the front pieces, the bottom area there. And he's just basically taking these, getting the same measurements the same way he did on the other side against the wall, and then butting them up against these. I didn't think about the wood filler I needed to probably do. I did wood filler in the first living room when I did these beams. You can still see the seam. It's still obvious that their seams butted together, but it's not as obvious as like a crack in it. Now, these don't have a crack in it, but there is a seam very similar to the one that I had to use wood filler on in the first living room. I didn't do that because I was afraid if I put them up before I stained them, I would have to be looking up at the ceiling for a long amount of time, and I couldn't do that. You guys know I have a lot of issues with my head with the fluid and stuff like that. I can't look up for long periods of time. So I knew how I was feeling, and I said I'm just going to stain them before we put them up instead of waiting, putting them up, then wood filling them, and then staining them. I just didn't think I should do that. I played it smart and safe for once in my life, and I'm glad I did. We're just sliding this front piece in here, and then Shane's taking his nail gun real quickly and just doing some nails, but that's not all that he's doing. He's just doing that to keep it secure while he goes and he gets his drill and his screws, and we're nailing them first just to hold it there so I don't have to get up there and hold it with my head above my head looking up at the ceiling and my arms above my head, but he's just having it there to hold it so that he can go get his screws and then do actual like pilot holes and screws. That way it's really secure and not just held by a bunch of brad nails. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I hope y'all have a blessed morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you are at. Know that I love you, but Jesus loves you so much more. I'll see y'all in the next one.